Pastor Mark Biltz here from Shaddai Ministries. Thank you again so much for watching, and make sure to subscribe and share. Also, please like this video, and we would love to hear your comments. Thanks again for watching. Bye-bye. Now, look at Acts 11:28. Here there stood up one of them named Agabus, and he talks and signified by the Spirit that there would be a great famine. Do you know what Agabus' name means? Locust. Isn't that fascinating? Anyway, this guy named Locust says there's going to be a great big famine throughout all the world. And it came to pass in the days of Claudius Caesar. And this is why in verse 29 and 30, that the disciples, every man according to their ability, determined to send relief to the brethren which were dwelling in Judea, which also they did, and they sent it to the elders by the hands of Barnabas and Saul or Paul. Now, here's the thing. In 44 AD, I told you last week, in 44 AD is when Herod killed James, the brother of John. He imprisons Peter, who escapes. But historically, from the research I've done, 44 AD is also when the famine began, which is quite fascinating. The famine begins in Jerusalem the same time they're killing James, the brother of John. So that's kind of interesting. So let's go to Acts 12. It says, on the day which had been fixed, Herod dresses in his robes, seated in his place, and made a public statement to them. One of the things, I mentioned this last week, but I'm going to bring up something this week that I didn't bring up that week, is that many of the Orthodox Jewish people of that day loved this Herod. The reason they loved this Herod is because this Herod hated the Messianic Jews. All right? And if you read historical things, you'll find out they thought this Herod was one of the greatest of all time. And what's fascinating, look at what it says, and I'll fill in the blanks historically for you. He makes a public statement to them. I've got to be careful how I say this. And the people with loud cries say, it's the voice of a God and not of a man. Here, historically, is what is happening that you do not know of. It's a Shemitah year. Okay? It's at the end of the Shemitah year when they read the Hakel. And the king has to read the Hakel. This is what's happening this coming fall. It's the end of the Shemitah year. There's the Hakel where it is incumbent upon the king to gather everyone to come and listen to what the king, as he reads the Torah. And in Jewish literature, it was this event that he's standing up to read, and he's reading the Torah, and as he's reading it, he reads the section that you shall not have a king among you who is not completely Jewish. He knows he's not completely Jewish, and he begins to cry because he can't fulfill that reading. And so what happens, they all cry out to him, it's the voice of a God and not a man. They're worshiping Herod, and then boom, straightway the angel of the Lord sends a disease on him because he didn't give the glory to God. His flesh was wasted away by worms. He came to his end, and the word of the Lord went on increasing. So in case you didn't know, that is what has happened historically at this time. This is incredible. Pastor Mark Biltz here from Shaddai Ministries. Thank you again so much for watching, and make sure to subscribe and share. Also, please like this video, and we would love to hear your comments. Thanks again for watching. Bye-bye.